One mistake is about to change the entire world forever. Within the next few hours, millions of people will lose their lives, entire cities will fall, and a terrifying nightmare will begin. No one knows it yet, but humanity is standing on the edge of extinction. Jerry is driving his wife Karen and their two daughters Rachel and Connie through Philadelphia. While the girls sing in the back seat, a news report discusses strange rabies-like outbreaks occurring in different countries. Suddenly, a police car races past and smashes Jerry's side mirror. Moments later, several more police vehicles rush through the streets. Before anyone can understand what is happening, a massive explosion erupts nearby. A police officer yells at everyone to get back into their vehicles. Seconds later, a speeding truck crashes into Jerry and throws him to the ground. As a former United Nations investigator, Jerry immediately realizes that this is not a normal emergency. He quickly gets his family moving and drives away from the area. But Rachel suffers an asthma attack from fear. As Jerry turns to comfort her, an ambulance crashes into their car and flips it over. Miraculously, the family survives. However, outside the vehicle, the city has transformed into a nightmare. People are attacking each other violently, biting strangers and spreading an unknown infection. Victims begin transforming within seconds. The streets become filled with panic, bloodshed, and chaos. Realizing they must escape immediately, Jerry gathers his family and finds an abandoned RV. Karen helps fend off approaching attackers while Jerry drives through the collapsing city. Within what feels like minutes, entire neighborhoods fall to the outbreak. The family finally reaches a quieter area outside the city, but Rachel's asthma becomes worse. Just then, Jerry receives a call from his former colleague, Thierry Umatoni, a senior UN official. Thierry promises that a rescue helicopter will arrive by morning. Until then, Jerry must keep his family safe. They need Rachel's inhaler, so Jerry enters a nearby supermarket. Inside, desperate survivors are fighting over supplies. Society is already beginning to break apart. To save time, the family splits up. Jerry searches for Rachel's inhaler while Karen and Connie gather food. Suddenly, Connie screams. Two men are attempting to rob Karen. Jerry rushes over, but one of the attackers pulls a gun. Without hesitation, Jerry fights back. The confrontation ends when the armed robber is killed. Nearby, a police officer witnesses everything but ignores the situation completely, choosing to steal food instead. Law and order no longer exist. The family quickly escapes the store, only to discover that their RV has been stolen. With no transportation and nowhere to go, Jerry contacts Thierry again. The rescue helicopter will not arrive until the next morning. Thierry instructs them to hide in a nearby apartment building. As they move toward the building, an explosion erupts nearby. Seconds later, a zombie crashes onto a car roof, followed by a massive horde racing through the streets. Jerry leads his family into an apartment complex, while infected people flood the area behind them. The stairwell becomes a deadly trap as zombies close in from every direction. Just when escape seems impossible, they find shelter inside the apartment of an uninfected survivor. The family spends the night there while the city outside continues to collapse. The next morning, Jerry prepares makeshift weapons and plans a route to the rooftop where the helicopter will arrive. But their escape immediately goes wrong. A zombie suddenly appears, forcing Jerry to shoot it. The gunshot echoes throughout the building. Instantly, dozens of zombies begin rushing toward them. Jerry and his family run for their lives. He fights desperately to protect Karen and the girls, but eventually the infected overwhelm him and drag him to the floor. During the struggle, zombie blood drips into Jerry's mouth. Believing he has been infected, he prepares for the worst. Then a gunshot saves him. Tommy, the young boy from the apartment, arrives just in time after surviving an attack on the building. Together, they finally reach the rooftop. Karen lights a flare and the rescue helicopter quickly spots them. Before boarding, Jerry quietly counts to 12, expecting signs of infection from the blood exposure. But nothing happens. Somehow, he remains healthy. The helicopter arrives just as zombies burst onto the rooftop. Soldiers open fire while Jerry and his family race toward safety. As the helicopter lifts off, Jerry looks down at a city completely consumed by chaos. Entire streets are overwhelmed by the infected. The survivors are transported to a U.S. Navy vessel in the Atlantic Ocean, which now serves as a military command center and refugee camp. There, Thierry reveals devastating news. The president is dead. Governments around the world are collapsing, and the infection has spread across multiple continents. The only promising lead comes from South Korea, where early reports first used the word zombie. Scientists believe understanding the source of the outbreak could help create a vaccine. Jerry is asked to accompany a virologist on a mission to investigate. Jerry refuses at first. After years of dangerous work, all he wants is to stay with his wife and daughters. But military officials make it clear that if he refuses, his family's protection aboard the ship will end. Forced into an impossible decision, Jerry agrees. After an emotional goodbye, he boards a plane heading to South Korea. When Jerry's team lands at a military base in South Korea, zombies suddenly emerge from the darkness and attack. Several soldiers are killed, and the virologist accidentally shoots himself while panicking. With the scientist dead, the mission now falls entirely on Jerry. Captain Speak explains that zombies are highly sensitive to sound and can only be killed with headshots. While investigating the outbreak, Jerry learns that the infection spread through the camp after a military doctor was unknowingly bitten. However, the true origin of the virus remains unknown. Jerry also hears about a strange incident where zombies ignored a limping soldier. Soon after, he learns that Israel had already built massive defensive walls before the outbreak became public. Believing they know something important, Jerry travels to Jerusalem. Inside the city, everything appears safe and organized, but beyond the walls, countless zombies surround the city. During a public celebration, loud singing attracts the infected. Thousands of zombies begin piling on top of each other and climb over the massive wall. Within minutes, Jerusalem falls into chaos. While escaping, Jerry notices that zombies ignored an old man and a sick-looking boy. The observation stays in his mind. A soldier named Sagan is bitten while protecting Jerry, forcing him to cut off her arm to stop the infection. They barely escape and board a passenger plane. During the flight, Jerry finally connects the clues. He begins to suspect that zombies avoid people who appear seriously ill. Before he can investigate further, a hidden zombie attacks inside the aircraft. To stop the outbreak, Jerry uses a grenade, killing the zombies but causing the plane to crash. Jerry and Sagan survive and reach a WHO research facility in Wales. There, Jerry explains his theory that the virus targets only healthy hosts. To test it, he enters a zombie-infested laboratory and retrieves deadly pathogens. With no time left, he injects himself with an unknown disease and steps out in front of a zombie. The zombie completely ignores him. Jerry's theory is correct. The infected avoid people who appear seriously ill. Thanks to this discovery, scientists develop treatments that help humans avoid zombie attacks. Jerry is reunited with his family, and for the first time since the outbreak began, humanity finally has hope. The end.